Tom Cruise was once Hollywood's untouchable golden boy. Flawless smile, matinee idol looks, picture-perfect life. Then something shifted. By February 2025, viewers spotted a swollen, stretched look in his face during a Super Bowl ad. Just minutes earlier, in a movie trailer, he'd appeared normal. A plastic surgeon suggested overdone fillers had changed his jawline entirely. By July, a British host delivered a harsh punchline, saying Tom's face now looked like Play-Doh. Which leaves the question, what happened to the man millions adored? Tom Cruise was born on July 3, 1962, in Syracuse, New York. From the start, his life was marked by fear and constant uprooting. His father, an electrical engineer named Thomas Cruise Mapother III, had a fierce temper. Tom later called him a merchant of chaos. It wasn't only shouting, it was abuse. The family never stayed long. By age 14, Tom had attended 15 different schools. Canada 1 month, Kentucky, or New Jersey the next. Each time he made a friend, he moved again. He never felt secure. Yet the endless change taught him to adapt quickly, an ability that would serve him in Hollywood. In 1969, when he was 7, teachers noticed he struggled to read. He was bright, but words wouldn't sit still. Tests revealed severe dyslexia. Letters seemed to move across the page. Classmates taunted him, and some teachers lost patience. Rather than quit, Tom found a workaround: listening. He had people read scripts aloud repeatedly until he knew them by heart, his lines and everyone else's. A painful weakness became a secret weapon. By 1974, at 12, his mother Mary Lee made a courageous break. She left her abusive husband, packed up the kids, and walked away with almost nothing. Overnight, she was a single mom raising 4 children with no savings and no formal skills. She worked wherever she could, waiting tables, cleaning houses, sometimes 16 hours straight. They moved constantly to chase cheaper rent. Tom pitched in. Lawns mowed, papers delivered, any job that paid. Every dollar went to his mother. Those hard years etched a relentless work ethic and a fierce desire to control his future. In 1976, at 14, Tom surprised everyone. He wanted to be a priest. He entered a Catholic seminary in Ohio, rising early for prayers, taking Latin, following strict routines. Teachers called him earnest and committed. It didn't last. One night, he and a few boys raided the wine cellar and drank the communion wine. They were caught, and Tom was expelled. He later said the experience made one thing clear. He wasn't built to follow rigid rules. He was meant to perform. In 1978, life steadied. His mother married Jack South, a paint salesman who treated Tom with kindness. The family settled in Glen Ridge, New Jersey. For the first time, he had a stable home, a steady school, and a supportive stepfather. He joined the wrestling team, but a knee injury ended that pursuit. A drama teacher then nudged him toward the school play. He landed the lead in Guys and Dolls. On stage, something clicked. He poured himself into the role, memorizing not only his dialogue, but everyone's. The audience loved him. More plays followed, and he won the school's drama award. Those 18 months in New Jersey changed his trajectory. Acting wasn't a hobby anymore. It was the dream. In 1980, just before graduation, Tom made a decision that terrified his family. He quit school and moved to New York City to act. He had $500 and a bag of clothes. He crashed in a cheap hostel near Times Square, then in a rat-infested Hell's Kitchen walk-up with $230 rent, bussing tables to hang on. Dollar pizza, instant noodles, he lost 20 lbs in 3 months. A soap opera audition ended with too intense. That stung. He shortened his name from Thomas Cruise Mapother IV to Tom Cruise, chasing something sharper and more memorable. In 1981, he finally landed a blink-and-you-miss-it part in Endless Love, a single scene setting a fire for $500. Still, the energy popped. People noticed. The spark had caught. By 1983, he auditioned for The Outsiders, initially chasing Sodap Pop. Mid-read, he stopped. This isn't working for me. It startled everyone, including Rob Lowe, but it showed self-awareness. He took a smaller part and stole scenes anyway. That same year, Risky Business exploded. Budgeted at $6.2 million, it made over $63 million. The iconic underwear dance minted a star. Critics cheered, and Tom earned his first Golden Globe nomination. He followed with all the right moves, shot in brutal Pennsylvania cold. He never complained, pushing for authenticity, an attitude that later defined his stunt work. In 1985, he starred in Ridley Scott's Fantasy Legend. The production's makeup operation was enormous. Co-star Tim Curry famously injured himself ripping off prosthetics. Tom watched and learned how grueling big productions could be, and welcomed the grind. Then came 1986 and Martin Scorsese's The Color of Money with Paul Newman. Tom trained relentlessly at the pool table. Newman won the Oscar, but Cruise proved he could hold his own. The same year, Top Gun detonated. He flew in real F-14 jets, reportedly hitting punishing G-forces and logging 40-plus hours of flight time. The movie soared to $356 million, and Tom became a global brand, Hollywood's highest-paid under 25 at $2 million per film. In 1988, Cocktail mixed middling reviews with a $171 million at the box office. Tom practiced flair bartending for months, breaking 47 bottles along the way. That same year, Rain Man landed. Channeling personal pain, his father left when he was 12, he improvised a key scene that stunned Dustin Hoffman. The film won 4 Oscars. Thanks to a savvy profit share, Tom earned $15 million for 1989's Born on the 4th of July. He lived in a wheelchair for months, dropped 35 lbs, met dozens of Vietnam vets, and kept acting after slicing his hand, real blood on screen. He donated $3 million to veterans groups. He also launched a production company with Paula Wagner, investing $2 million in shepherding Days of Thunder, rewriting pages, casting, and pouring millions into practical race footage, including true NASCAR wrecks. Within a year, the company secured $50 million in studio deals. The film drew protests from some veterans. Tom received death threats, but ultimately grossed $161 million and helped reshape public conversations about Vietnam. He later created a $500,000 scholarship fund for disabled vets. Tom didn't just act like a driver in Days of Thunder. In 1990, he trained with real NASCAR pros, piloted 700-horsepower stock cars at 100 mph, and even crashed while reading lines off cue cards taped to the windshield. On set, he met Nicole Kidman. They married on Christmas Eve 1990. In A Few Good Men, 2 years later, that courtroom showdown with Jack Nicholson, You Can't Handle the Truth, took 95 takes to nail. The film earned over $236 million and pop culture immortality. When Interview with the Vampire hit in 1994, many balked at Cruise as Lestat. Even the author objected at first. Tom studied predatory movement for months, endured heavy makeup, and performed disturbing bits, with a mix of special effects and prop work. The author later reversed herself. Cruise's turn was powerful and brave. In 1996, Mission Impossible rewrote action grammar. Tom refused to fake it, clinging to a train barreling through the Channel Tunnel at 70 miles per hour and that vault drop, balanced on wires for a single 6+ minute take. The movie cost $80 million, most of it poured into practical stunt work. The same year, Jerry Maguire revealed his softer side. He won a Golden Globe in early 1997. "Show me the money!" wasn't on the page the way we know it. Tom amped it into a nationwide chant. From late 1996 to mid-1998, he endured 15 straight months filming Eyes Wide Shut with Stanley Kubrick, the longest shoot in movie history. One simple scene took 95 takes. Stress gave Tom an ulcer. He kept quiet, unwilling to slow production. Just 6 days after filming wrapped, Kubrick died. The film became his last work. By 2000, Mission Impossible 2 pushed him even harder, free climbing a 2,000-foot cliff in Utah, making a 15 FT leap onto solid rock over and over, and ducking a helicopter's spinning blades that came terrifyingly close. In 2001, Vanilla Sky, a remake, saw Tom urging director Cameron Crowe to watch the original and recruiting Penelope Cruz to reprise her role. Prosthetics transformed his post-crash face. The movie made $200 million and earned a cult following. For 2003's The Last Samurai, he trained nearly 2 years, sword work, Japanese language, martial arts, and performed most horseback battles himself. Inspired by a historical figure, the film became the 6th biggest hit of 2002, $3, earning $456 million and a Golden Globe nod for Cruise. In 2004's Collateral, Tom turned icy and lethal as Vincent, shocking audiences with the transformation. Then, 2005 brought War of the Worlds. They bought a real Boeing 747 and ripped it into set wreckage. Filming across 5 states took 73 days. Steven Spielberg said it was his longest shoot in a decade. Tom even asked Spielberg to pause another film so they could make this one first. In 2008, Tropic Thunder showed Tom unrecognizable, bald, heavy-set, foul-mouthed, and dancing. The studio hid his role in trailers. Audiences went wild when they realized it was him. By 2011, Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol had him dangling off the Burj Khalifa over 2,000 FT up. Crews drilled into the building and removed panes for safety gear. His harness cut circulation. Helicopters had only 30 minutes due to flight rules. IMAX cameras rolled. No stunt double. In Jack Reacher 2012, he did his own high-speed chase work through Pittsburgh and trained for brutal hand-to-hand scenes. The release was delayed after Sandy Hook, but when it finally arrived in December 2012, the character felt raw and grounded. Then Rogue Nation 2015 delivered the wildest ride yet. Tom hanging off an Airbus A400M as it took off. Hit with 5G at 5,000 TVD, the crew had 48 hours to nail it, and the plane took off 8 times. He ran across the wing and gripped paratrooper panels, wearing almost no visible protection. For The Mummy 2017, they filmed a zero-gravity crash in a special aircraft climbing to 25,000 FT before dropping. No CGI. Multiple flights, only minutes of weightlessness each time, one of the toughest aerial scenes ever attempted. In 2018, Mission Impossible. Fallout broke more than box office records. Tom shattered his ankle leaping between rooftops in London. He finished the take, limping on camera. Production paused 6 months. He returned and kept going. The injury became part of the story. Finally, 2022's Top Gun. Maverick became his career peak. He flew real F-18 jets after grueling training and made the young cast do it too. Custom IMAX cameras were mounted inside cockpits. He rejected streaming offers during the pandemic, insisting on theaters. After a 3-year delay, the film earned nearly $1.5 billion, the second highest grossing movie of 2022, proving Tom Cruise still does the hard stuff for real. Tom married Mimi Rogers at 24 in 1987. She was an actress and a Scientologist, and through her, he entered the faith that would shape much of his future. Rumors about fertility swirled. In 1993, Mimi joked in Playboy about him pondering monkhood, which fueled speculation. They divorced in 1990. Mimi later said his career-first obsession and his deepening commitment to Scientology built a wall between them. Soon after, Tom met Nicole Kidman on Days of Thunder. They married in 1990. The public saw perfection. Privately, there was heartbreak. Nicole had an ectopic pregnancy at 23. A devastating loss. They adopted Isabella and Connor. Then in March 2001, just after Tom filed for divorce, Nicole suffered a second miscarriage at 3 months. A private tragedy arrived alongside a public split. Afterward, Tom dated Penelope Cruz for 3 years following Vanilla Sky. She studied Scientology to understand him, but ultimately stayed with Buddhism. David Miscavige and other church leaders reportedly disapproved. A former member claimed loving Tom wasn't enough. You also had to obey the church. After they broke up in 2004, rumors spread that Scientology organized auditions to find Tom a new wife. The church denied it. The rumor stuck. Then came Katie Holmes. In 2005, Tom's exuberant couch jump on Oprah declared his love. They married in an Italian castle in 2006, the same year daughter Suri was born. Katie called it her dream come true. By 2012, the dream had curdled. She filed for divorce seeking full custody of Suri. Tom was reportedly blindsided. They settled quickly and quietly. Katie's priority was keeping Suri away from Scientology. That became the hard line. They agreed to respect each other's beliefs. But the damage was done. After 2012, Tom wasn't seen publicly with Suri. Their last shared moment caught on camera was at Disneyland in 2012 when she was 6. More than a decade passed. In 2024, she graduated high school. Tom didn't attend. That same day, he was seen at a Taylor Swift concert in London. Former Scientologists pointed to the church's disconnection policy. If someone leaves, members cut contact. Katie protected Suri from the church. Tom chose belief over fatherhood. Now Suri is 18 and can choose for herself, but the bond appears broken. Back in 2005, Tom sparked a media firestorm criticizing Brooke Shields for using antidepressants after childbirth. He claimed there was no such thing as a chemical imbalance and recommended vitamins and exercise instead. Brooke fired back in the New York Times, saying he should stick to saving the world from aliens and leave mental health to doctors. She said he clearly didn't understand postpartum depression. Tom later apologized. Brooke called it not a great apology, just the best he could manage. Tom's connection to Scientology began in 1986 through Mimi Rogers. He kept it quiet at first, but by 1990, and in a 1992 interview with Barbara Walters, he acknowledged that the church helped him with dyslexia. Over time, he became one of its most visible figures and grew close to David Miscavige. When he was told he'd be briefed on an intergalactic ruler named Xenu, he briefly pulled back. During Eyes Wide Shut in 1999, Marty Rathbun was reportedly sent to draw him back in. Then in 2008, a leaked video showed Tom praising Scientology in startling terms, claiming Scientologists were the only people truly qualified to help at a car crash or to understand the mind. The church tried to scrub it, but it went viral and unnerved many fans. In 2015, HBO's Going Clear intensified scrutiny. Former high-ranking members alleged the church helped find women for Tom to date. One claimed Nicole Kidman had been wiretapped after being labeled a troublemaker. Another described the partner search as white slavery. They also said Nicole kept Tom away from Scientology for years, prompting the church to spy on him through an employee. The accusations painted a grim picture. In 2001, a male adult film actor claimed an affair with Tom had caused his divorce from Nicole. Tom sued for $100 million. The man admitted he lied. Tom won $10 million. He had already sued another publisher for similar claims and won. Around that time, a former church executive revealed that from July to November 2001, Tom's private auditing sessions, intended as confessional therapy, were secretly videotaped for quality control, with the content sent directly to Miscavige. They allegedly waited until Tom's divorce from Nicole had finalized before re-engaging more aggressively. The breach of privacy fed growing concerns about how the church treated even its most famous members. In late 2023, former Scientology executive Mitch Brisker argued, Tom was the church's #1 victim, claiming Miscavige micromanaged everything, down to the soap on the church cruise ship, and that Tom wasn't truly free. Leah Remini, who left in 2013, said criticism of Tom inside the church brought harsh punishment. Others echoed her. The church denied it all, calling the claims lies. By February 2025, fans noticed something else. In that Super Bowl commercial, Tom's face looked puffy and pulled. Just 10 minutes earlier, a Mission Impossible trailer had shown him looking normal. A plastic surgeon suggested excessive filler had softened his once sharp jawline. Swelling and stretching often follow over-injection. By May 2025, Tom talked about how hard he'd pushed his body for Mission Impossible. He told people he ate nearly a dozen eggs every morning, plus bacon, sausage, toast, and coffee, to fuel stunts like riding atop a biplane at 120 mph, around 3 times faster than early wing-walking speeds. He said he needed that protein and energy to stay safe in the air. In July 2025, British host Jonathan Ross delivered a brutal take on his podcast, comparing Tom's face to Play-Doh, saying the once naturally handsome star now looked artificial. He didn't call him ugly. He said Tom just no longer looked like himself. The internet lit up, many agreeing. By August, Tom finally spoke more openly. He said the wild plane work nearly wrecked his back. In one sequence, he hung only by a seatbelt while the aircraft flipped upside down. The force separated joints in his fingers. His hands ballooned. The pain was real. The director confirmed the punishment Tom took, including weather-forced reshoots in Africa. Those injuries and the swelling might explain some changes in how he looks. For many fans, though, the image of their Tom had already faded.